So over the past month or so, I've been hearing a lot more that stocks are too expensive. Why would I want to buy at all-time highs? AI is a bubble, and it's just a matter of time before a big crash comes. And honestly, the truth is, a lot of these people may be right. You could definitely argue that the market is currently overvalued. We possibly could get a 20% correction, maybe even a recession. Truth is, I'm not 100% sure, and nobody else is. However, one thing that I do know is that if I chose to listen to people telling me that the market was too expensive and now it's not a good time to invest, I would have never built an over $200,000 portfolio at 20 years old. Specifically, remember early on when I started investing back in 2024, so many people were just like, why don't you just wait till a crash comes? The market's just clearly overvalued right now and it's only a matter of time. And of course, being a newer investor, it was pretty easy to convince me something, and I started to second guess myself, especially when even big firms and big names were saying that it's just a matter of time before it crashes this year. Thankfully, I ignored this advice and not only kept my money invested, but continued to invest. One of the biggest things that I realized about the stock market is when it's near all-time highs, there are always going to be people saying that a crash is about to happen. Even people and institutions that you would think have to be credible claims. And the truth of the matter is, at some point, they're going to be correct. The thing is, they may be wrong 10 times before they're right once. The biggest lie investors tell themselves is that they're waiting for a better opportunity. Most people aren't waiting for a better opportunity, they're just waiting till they feel comfortable. Think about a few years in the past, 2020 when we had the pandemic going on, 2022 when we had the inflation crash, even recently when we had the tariff dip in April. None of those times were comfortable times to be investing. I actually think one of the biggest losses in the market is not what people actually lose from investing, but rather the opportunity cost. I remember so many people back in 2024 telling me that the market was way too high and they're just going to sit on their cash until the market crashes. S&P 500 is up almost 75% since the start of 2024. Let's say you happen to be one of those people who at the beginning of 2024 decided, I'm just going to wait for a crash to come. Again, the market is currently up about 75% since the start of 2024 at the time of this video. Let's just even say the S&P 500 had a huge crash, a 35% dip. Even if we drop 35% in the S&P 500 from where we're at right now, you still would have missed out on a 35% gain from the start of 2024 to now. So many people pay attention to avoiding losses but not missing gains. I'm going to tell you the difference between the average investor versus a wealthy investor. Most people are so worried about getting that perfect stock entry and picking the perfect stock to buy into. Things such as finding the next Nvidia, the next Bitcoin, whatever you can think of. But what they're not focused on is increasing their income, increasing their skills, and investing consistently. They're just trying to find that next hot pick. Not saying that I've made $10 million, but I am doing pretty good for my age. And half the reason why I'm at where I'm at right now is because I focus on two things: how to make more money and investing consistently. Not because I was just so good at picking stocks that are going to do 2,000% next year. Just to add though, I have picked some stocks at a pretty good time, such as Nvidia at $400 a share before the split. That's definitely not the biggest contributor as to where my portfolio is at right now, even though it definitely helped. I'm not trying to time the market. My plan to build wealth as fast as possible is to do triple compounding. Build my income, build my skills, invest consistently, let all three compound. 5 years from now, no one's going to care if you bought the S&P 500 at 6,100 or 6,400. What you're actually going to care about is whether you started or not. So many people spend years trying to find the perfect investment and the perfect time to invest in it rather than becoming the person who can just overall consistently invest and let their investments compound. That is exactly where real wealth is built. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments and make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already.